Hello, I'm Janna, and welcome back to the Crafty Corner. This week, over at the Funky Junkie Inspiration Avenue blog, we are creating to the theme of From the Vault. So, of course, we're going to be featuring some of the brand new Tim Holtz Sizzix dies, and this is going to be lots of fun. If you'd like to see exactly which supplies I'm going to be using today, go ahead and pause here. All right, let's head over to the Crafty Corner. This week we are featuring Sizzix and the new Tim Holtz collection from the Vault. And these are the two die sets that I've decided to work with today. We have got Vault World Travel, and we're going to be featuring the globe and some of the letters on the card that we're making today. And for the second die set, I absolutely had to pull in Vault watch gears. I love this vintagey style watch. It is so fun, and I really want to try to do something with the numbers as well. So we're not just going to die cut these out of some standard cardstock. We're going to make our own backgrounds to die cut from, and we're going to be using some distress paint to do that today, along with some mixed media cardstock. And we're going to be using a technique with the Tim Holtz Ranger Brayer to achieve the technique that we are going for. Today's a little different. I am working on the Tonic Studio Media mat, and this is the craft mat portion. It's the extra large one, and I find that's so much easier to use whenever I'm doing something with distress paint. Okay, so let's set these aside for the moment and pull in our first colors. So the first colors that I want to work on are for the background itself. And we're going to be using some Uncharted Mariner and a dash of tarnished brass. So let's go ahead. I'm going to give the paints a good shake. Great. And I'm going to put a few drops right onto our work surface. Okay. So just 1, 2, 3, 4. That should be pretty good, and then I need a few drops of this as well. All right, and just 1, 2, 3, there. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I want to paint the entire background, and I'm going to be pulling in one of the collage brushes. Those give really great coverage, and they're super easy to work with. So just gotta pull a brush from the tool caddy, and we'll be all set. So we're just going to take our collage brush and we're just going to quickly paint our background. Oh, looks like I'm going to need a bit more paint. We're just going to apply that directly onto our substrate. Not a problem. So just take that, put that on here, and we'll take the brush and move that paint around so we have a nice background to work on. Now, I don't really care if the background is streaky or not, because for the background I am going for texture. So some brush marks are definitely going to be working in our favor. Okay, so there we go. Doesn't need to be perfect. I just need the color on there. All right, so I'm just going to move that aside for a moment, and we're going to give our work surface a very quick clean. Nothing fancy, we just need a distress sprayer and a cloth. So if the paint is still wet, it wipes away very, very easily, leaving no mess behind. Okay, that was a nice easy cleanup. So we've got our background, and this is relatively dry. I don't need it to be perfectly dry. So we're going to be going in with the brayer. Now, the Ranger Tim Holtz brayer comes in 2 sizes, and I'm using the larger side today. So I'm just going to take that and just going to brayer through that tarnished brass paint. And we're going to very lightly roll right over the top of this. So just like that, a little bit of a twist, a little bit of a pull, and there. That's all we need to do, and we've got a great backdrop to work with. So I'm just going to set this aside for right now, and we're going to go ahead and work on the next background. So the next background that I want to be doing is going to need some green. I'm going to use a smaller type for this. Just put that right on here. Again, I'm going to take the collage brush, just going to paint that. Doesn't have to be perfect. There we go. And just do a little quick cleanup. Again, spritz and wipe. Very good. So now, again, just going to take the brayer. I'm using some more of that lovely gold, and we're just going to brayer that right over the top. I'm trying to be really, really light-handed, and you can see that we've got a lovely sheen going on. Okay, set that aside. Again, quick cleanup. My gold is starting to dry just a bit, so spritz and wipe. Yeah, I love easy cleanup, and the philosophy of cleaning as you go is definitely a good one. Keeps your workspace nice and tidy and prevents bigger messes at a later date. Okay, so the next piece that I want to do is black and gold. So let's go ahead and put some of this right on here. Again, going into that collage brush, just quickly brushing that on. As you might notice, the Distress Black Soot is a slightly more watery mixture. It is definitely probably the most fluid of the distress paints, but in this case it's working in our favor because it's really easy to apply. Okay, there we go. So let's go ahead. We're going to drop a few more drops of the tarnished brass onto our work surface, and then we'll apply it with the brayer. Don't need a whole lot. Spritz and clear. There we go. All right, and back with the brayer. Run that through the gold and apply it quickly. Just little light brushes. Doesn't need to be heavy-handed, it just needs to have a spark of gold on here, and I like that. That's looking really distressed. Okay, so we're going to just clean things off one more time. Now, when cleaning the brayer, you've got these little sides, and if you just push, give a little pull, you can take the entire brayer off, and this makes it a lot easier to do cleanup. Again, I'm just going to spritz. I'm going to go in with the cloth. And again, easy cleaning. Some people like the buildup of paint on the brayer, and that can work, but I like to have a set of clean work tools. I don't like that paint buildup. That's just me. Okay. There we go. That is much better. And with the clean brayer, we just take that, put that into the first slot, pull, and it's ready to go for the next time I want to use it. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do will be to add a little bit of distress ink over the top of these backgrounds. I want to get a bit of a distress look going, so we're going to be pulling in some distress ink. And for the distress ink, I am going to be using some scorched timber. So let's open that up. I've got a blending brush. Just going to take that and we're going to blend right over the top. It's going to dull this down for a little bit, but I am going to go back and we're going to dab some of that ink off in just a moment. But I'm really going for a grungy look today. Okay, so that's one. I think I'll leave the black one as is, but I do want to do the same thing to the green one. A little bit more ink, and quickly blending. There we go. Good. So the next thing we're going to do will be to add some water droplets to these, and then I will dab that off right away with a paper towel. So we're just going to take some water, I'm going to spill that off to the side, and then I'm going to flick some water droplets right onto our backgrounds. So I'm just taking my hand and sprinkling pretty generously. I want this to be very splattery. Okay, I think we're almost good. Okay, I like that. So we're just going to take that paper towel, I'm going to put that down right over the top and absorb the water. pretty subtle, but it is there. I like it. Okay, so I'm going to set these aside for the moment, and we are going to be altering the background just a little bit more with some stamping. So I wanted to pull in one of my favorite stamp sets. This is CMS 395, The Professor, and I just needed some text that I can add to this background. So we're just going to take this one and we'll get our Distress Archival Black Soot and we'll go ahead and ink that up. All right, let's just put that right on here and add our ink. And I just want a piece of scrap paper, put that down right here, and let's go ahead and stamp. Okay, good. So I just want to have some text all over, so we'll ink up again and stamp. Good. And let's see, I've got a little bit of space down here. All right, so I've got my stamped background. Just go ahead, we'll put that right back on. Move the stamps off to the side. Move the scrap paper. Okay, so now I'm going to die cut and we'll be right back and we'll start assembling the card front. Okay, we've got a bunch of die pieces cut and we're going to be pulling in the pocket watch. And we've also got the globe, and we're going to be putting the globe together, and then I've got some lettering to add in. So we're going to start with the globe. I die cut this out of Ideology Metallic Gold Craft Stock, and we're going to add the pieces of the world to it. This was cut out of one of the backgrounds that we did with the Ranger Brayer technique. So well, let's go ahead, grab some glue. And we'll just add that right on to the globe. So I'm just going to go in with a few small dots, and then we'll be able to stick this down. Oh, a little bit too much. Okay, I'll just space that out. I guess I'll just spread that on with my finger instead. That works. Okay. So we're just going to take this and put that down. This piece is part of North America and a little bit of South America. Just line that up. I'm going to be careful not to smudge the rest of the surface. There we go. And I'll just hold it a second or two while the glue has a moment to adhere, and then we'll move on to the next chunk. Okay, that'll work. So the next chunk over here has Africa, parts of Europe, India, and Russia. So let's go easy with the glue this time. There we go, just dots. Okay. Just tapping that nice and light, and we'll stick it down. So we'll just put this part right here. I'm going to line up things carefully again. There we go. And we'll hold that a moment while the glue does its thing. Now, once this is in place, we're going to take the pocket watch piece and put it right over the top, and that's going to give our globe a really nice frame. All right, so I'm just going to take this. I'm going to run a line of glue around the edge, and then we'll be able to put the pocket watch piece right on top of it. There we go. Nice and easy. So I'll just take this and yeah, we'll just line it up like that. A little bit of glue ooze, but not a big deal. And again, I'm just going to hold this a moment or two while the glue sets. Doesn't take long. Collage medium dries pretty fast, and I love that quality about it. Now we've got our grungy globe, and we'll be able to add that onto the card front. All right, so let's take this, just flattening out our base just a little bit. going to flip this over and we'll add some glue. Again, I'm just going to go in with some dots. Try to run a little bit around the edge. There we go. Just like that. Oh. Trying to get this nice and covered without the extra glue ooze. All right, I'll take that and I'm going to put this right here. There we go. And again, I'll be holding this for a little bit while the glue has a chance to set up. Okay, so that is pretty good. Next, I want to add in a couple of little details. We also die cut an airplane and a little arrow. So we're gonna take the arrow and put that in first, and then we'll add the plane. This is really small, so I'm gonna try to very gently add the glue. Don't need a whole lot. There we go. Okay, and we'll just put that like that. Should work. And in case you're wondering where I'm trying to aim the area, and in case you're wondering where I'm trying to aim the arrow, I'm trying to kind of get it to point towards Bulgaria. That seems like a really cool country, and I'd love to visit it sometime. That would be a really fun vacation. Okay, and let's take the airplane, add a little bit of glue, and let's have the airplane kind of leaving from approximately Montreal. There we go. Just hold that a minute or two. Well, oh, there we go. That should be fine. All right, next I want to add in some dimensional pieces. We've got these other two pieces for the stopwatch or the pocket watch, whatever you want to look at this as, and we're going to be using a few foam squares to add this. So I'm just going to take that and that, there we go, and add that to the card. Just a little bit more interest for some dimension. There we go. That's good. And I'll add this one too. There we go. Bit of added dimension. All right. So next I want to pull in some of the lettering. I die cut the letters for north, east, south, and west so that I can add them on here. I like that as a little extra touch. And we also die cut Dreaming of Adventure. So we're going to go ahead and put this section on fast forward as I add in all of the lettering to this card front. Then we'll come back and finish up with the border. So now that we have all of our metallic lettering in place, we're going to finish this card off with a washi tape border. I'm just going to be taking the ATG tape and we're going to just run that along the side and add in our decorative ideology washi tape. I love finishing the borders with this. There are so many different patterns and I really love this small size that allows for the perfect border size. So we're just going to work our way all the way around and then we'll have a border. Now, whenever I have a little bit of run over with the tape runner, I just like to take a finger and kind of smush it off because I don't need any of those little extra glue bits hanging over the edge. But just an easy way to do a little bit of quick card cleanup. Okay, so let's go on to the other side. Run that down. There we go. Taking a finger, just making sure that we don't have anything hanging off the edge, and more tape. Okay, only one more side to go. There. Nice, easy way to add some more visual interest to a card. All right, one more side. Let's run that along here. Good. And I'll put that away for the moment. And tape. And here we are. This is our completed card featuring the brand new Tim Holtz Sizzix from the Vault die sets. Today we have used from the Vault watch gear. Today we have used from the Vault watch gears and from the Vault World Travel. These two dies definitely spoke to me, and I absolutely had to create a card combining both of these wonderful sets. So on our card, we have got the globe die cut out of metallic craft stock, and then using more of the lettering from the travel set, we were able to create our own customized sentiment, dreaming of adventure. And in the background, we went with some distress paint and a brayer technique to create some texture. Then we stamped over the top with an old favorite, the Professor 2 CMS 395. And of course, we featured the pocket watch by doubling it up with the wonderful World Globe. Thank you so much for joining me here today for the Funky Junky Inspiration Avenue. I hope that you'll check out my other teammates' wonderful creations over on the blog. And until next time, happy crafting!